sweaty I am. It's crazy. Good to see you too. And it's good to be seen, by the way. Woo! I am soaking wet. But that's just because I was outside moving, lifting stuff, doing lots of physical shit while it's 100 degrees and raining. It's kind of like Guatemala right now. That's my second one. The first one I filled up intending to bring it in here, and it didn't make it into the office. So I got another one. All right. Morgan Silver Dollars. I'm going to start doing a lot more Morgans, by the way. A lot more in the way of Morgans. And the reason I'm going to do more Morgans is because, hey, Stephen, the reason I'm doing more Morgans is because I'm a little nervous. I'm getting a little bit nervous about silver and gold. I'm watching what's going on in the world right now. There are a lot of countries that are having some real issues financially, and is known for eternal spring. That's pretty badass. I like that. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Let me just put it that way. But one of the things that I am very acutely aware of is that a lot of these most powerful force in gold market. Okay. Well, everybody's talking about silver and gold still. That. Okay. Boy, I got to tell you, man, I just don't get it. A volatility index is low. Okay, let's take a little vote. Trump says that the United States controls the Strait of Hormuz, and he was quoted as saying, "I think we will keep it." Now, I don't care how MAGA you are, or how Republican or conservative or Israel-centric you are. Doesn't that just sound like utter bullshit? I mean, doesn't that sound like complete bullshit to everybody? It's not just me, right? It's like, I don't get this. I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, how completely out of touch is he that he doesn't realize, because it is. The Strait of Hormuz is under our control. Is that what you're saying, Mike? You can't be right. That can't be right. Like, I just can't imagine that you're saying that the Strait of Hormuz is under our control. No, it's BS. God, good. Okay. I feel a lot better for you. Because if you were saying that we had it under control, I was going to ask you how the hell you got to that. Yeah, I just found out that to go to my wholesaler and back, which used to cost me about it was like $100 in gas. This time it's going to cost me $270. And the only reason that pisses me off is because that actually matters. No, the aircraft carriers are farther away than that now, Stephen. They are hauling ass. They're getting the fuck out of there. Benson Michael, you turd. You come to my live stream to try to sell bullshit. No, it's sad. It's really sad. That's what I heard. The thing is that I'd love to hack on the Navy just because, as a former Marine, I just want to kick their ass every chance I get. But honestly, there is a point where you gotta feel bad for these fucking guys. Trump wants Saudi, Turkey, Pakistan alliance to fight Iran. Yeah, that's not going to happen though. They have no interest in doing that. Is that? Oh, that's on my phone. Woo! I'm soaking wet, man. Jesus. Yes, I did. I deleted the BS. Why did censor that? That's crazy. There we go. Yeah, it's sad. Why do you think the aircraft carrier is running? From what I understand, they are heading for Diego Garcia right now. That's what the last report I heard yesterday. Your friend, I am from Ghana. Please send me your number. My number, 555. Well, you spell it out phonetically. FUCK. The off is optional. I believe Iran now has nuclear weapons. That wouldn't surprise me. I was told by somebody that had a lot of pull a long time ago. And when I say a long time ago, years ago, several years ago, that Iran and Saudi Arabia both had nuclear weapons. And the agreement was that they would not develop delivery systems for them. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure you can fit a nuke onto a long-range missile, and they seem to have some pretty long-range missiles in Iran. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe they have intermediate, which we know. We were surprised to see that they could reach into wherever the farthest they went was. I remember everybody was kind of shocked about that. Yeah, well, that's and that was the thing that that really made me laugh, is that they asked Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. I don't think they're planning anything terrible on us. Look, let me ask you something. If you didn't like somebody, and I mean you really didn't like them, you just thought they were a fucking putz. Yes, Iran is absolutely capable of taking out a carrier 100%. Russia doesn't have to give them nukes. Pretty sure North Korea already did. Just like they gave Pakistan nukes. Why would you give Pakistan, a country where 30% of marriages are between first cousins, a country where 97% of the people in that country believe that Sharia law should supersede any country's laws, period? Huh. Sharia law, huh? Well, ain't that some shit? Well, silver is doing well. Let's see. If I'm not mistaken, it's up a little bit. Yeah, it's up, 30 cents, 29 cents. But I mean, over the last month, it's up 14%. So yeah, silver is kicking ass. And the reason is, as this whole bullshit thing slows down, with what's going on in Iran, and the world starts to try to get going again, I think that it's pretty obvious that if we need 3.6 billion ounces of silver per year, and that was pre-war, now I think it will best 100 an ounce. Oh, absolutely. No question in my mind about that. But if we needed 3.6 billion ounces per year pre-war, now I would I would say easily, we've cut that down by 30 or 40% because of how badly we've damaged the world's industrial strength with this one stupid war. That's how badly we've hurt the world's economy. But even at 3 billion ounces, you have to understand that 3 billion ounces a year of silver is almost laughable, because right now the global output from every silver mine on earth is about 800 million. That's not even a billion. So where the hell are we going to get 3 billion? And by the way, the estimates are 3.6 billion. But I'm cutting down the estimates because I think that this war hurt the world's economy pretty badly. And even if China can recover and still go back to manufacturing the way that they had hoped, who's buying? The United States we're in super, super deep shit. I mean, I got my hand on the pulse of this. And if you're hurting financially and you think that you're the only one, it's everyone. It's everyone. When I said that I thought if Trump got elected, it would cut my income last year in half, it did. It absolutely did. And this year too. Half. That's just the way it is. It's not that people don't want to buy silver. You'd be an idiot if you had money in the bank and you didn't buy silver. You'd have to have a fucking hole in your head, period. That is just, anybody with any brains at all sees that. But people don't have any money. I have a lot of people that call me and go, hey man, can I buy 4 ounces? Well, I mean, with shipping, that means I am going to lose $12 because I don't do retail. I'm not going to sell somebody silver at $80 an ounce when it's at 65. That's what a lot of these places do. APMEX right now, if you buy 500 ounces or more, they're $8.99 over spot. That's the largest retailer in the country for silver. They sell more silver than anybody else, and they're at $8.99 over spot if you buy 500 ounces or more. It's over $10 an ounce premium if you buy less. I don't want to do that. Now, am I super worried that if I make a couple bucks of a premium that my clients are going to be upset with me? Hell no. Look, if it's at 65, 55 right now, when it's at 75 next week, nobody's going to care about the extra $2 that I put in my pocket. We're in debt, 40 trillion. Well, here's the thing. That 40 trillion is hiding some numbers. There are some numbers in there that people don't realize. Number one, that first of all, 40 trillion is the best guess. Yeah, $9 over spot. That's ridiculous. I just, I wouldn't do that. I don't do that. So $40 trillion is an optimistic guess. Just so we're clear. I want to make sure that we're all clear on this. The General Accounting Office says that it could be quite a bit more. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in the federal government off book. Well, if it's off book, we don't know what it is. We don't know how much it is. So, but I can tell you this. Japan is raising their rates. If they raise their rates, we have to raise our rates. Otherwise, people won't buy our bonds. They'll buy their bonds instead. And we can't allow that. We need to sell bonds. We've got $9 trillion coming due. For those of you who don't understand what that means, because a lot of people don't, we have to roll that debt over. That means we have to go get $9 trillion more to pay off the other $9 trillion. Thanks, Lolo. We have to go get $9 trillion to pay off the other. Yeah, it's so true. But the key is, if we're paying 5 or 6 or 7%, we're talking about hundreds of billions of dollars more per year in interest alone. Now, to put that in perspective, right now, because of the foolish, ridiculous bullshit that our parents pulled with the government, all of the shit that's happened in the last 35, 40 years, all of this idiotic spending, we're now spending $1 trillion every year, $1 trillion in interest payments. To who? To who? That's the question. Who is making $1 trillion a year off of our backs? Yeah, Pakistan is fucking horrendous. It's unbelievable. The average IQ there is shockingly low. The people there are I mean, like, some of them are very nice people. They really are. They're very nice people. But God, they are just so backwards. No, not Trump. Trump's stealing everything that's not bolted down. That's a fact. I didn't believe that when he first took office. I was like, look, everybody that goes into that office comes out richer, period, except Clinton. Clinton went in and got sued and came out with virtually nothing. Literally, I believe he was in debt to attorneys to the tune of minus $4 million. So he had no net worth when he left office. Now, within a couple of years, he and his wife were worth $150 million again. How the fuck do you do that? Well, that's easy. I'll give you an example. Janet Yellen, Admiral Palpatine from Star Wars. She is just absolutely horrendous to listen to. She has no personality whatsoever, and she's a liar. She got paid $500,000 to give a lunchtime speech at Goldman Sachs. $500,000 to go into Goldman Sachs. Well, sadly, as much as I love Tulsi, it turns out that she's a member of a cult. That was not something I was aware of. Really, really sad, actually. Really sad that the New York Post, I believe, Washington Post, I don't know, one of those rags, said that they were going to do a story about her Friday of whatever date it was, a month ago. And the day after they announced that, she turned in a resignation. Now, I'm not saying that her husband doesn't have stage 4 cancer. I'm sure he does. It's not something you fake. But I was really sad to find out that that she was raised in a cult, like a legitimate cult. A guy who is a spiritual guru who's got a group of people who are all in very influential places, strangely enough. And it's almost like the Rothschilds, where he sent his children out to go get into very powerful places. And, Tulsi definitely had the mojo for it. She has ties to Klaus Schwab. Well, I really don't think that's a concern anymore. Good old Klaus Schwab turned out to be such an asshole, he got kicked out of his own organization. Yes. Yeah, well, that's the thing. She said that Iran was not a threat. And she got in a lot of trouble for that. She really got shitholed for that one. She got pigeonholed for being honest. And, again, that's not something you do in the government. The government has this higher calling. And believe me when I tell you, I understand how this works. the the idea is that it's like takia. It's like the Muslims that lie. If you're lying for the right reason, then lying is a good thing. And the reason that you're taught that is because people in general are stupid and they have to be shepherded. They have to be catered to. You have to help them see the correct answer. And if the truth is too complicated or too shocking for the average idiot, then it's your job as somebody who ministers to them to do what's necessary to help them. And so if you have to tell them that this is happening or that's happening, and it's not necessarily true, but it helps them sleep better at night. It helps the masses. Well, then that's your duty to shoulder that burden. Now, if you're arrogant enough to think that humanity is beyond help from the standpoint of it's just better to just grab them by the nose and lead them wherever they're going to go. Just do that. You know, God love them, but you can't help them. So just, be the good shepherd. And in order to be the good shepherd, sometimes you gotta fleece the sheep. That's why they do what they do to us. And sometimes you gotta give them a good whooping. Look, man, there's a reason that these sheepdogs bite. When you see an Australian shepherd out there hustling around, if the sheep don't go, he'll bite him on the ass. He'll bite him on the back of the leg. He'll bite him on the nose, get him to go. And that's exactly what it is. So if you really believe that you're that much above humanity, that your job is basically to babysit the rest of us, then you're probably in a very, very, very dangerous spot, because you're probably a lot like Trump. Trump has an enormous ego. And if you cater to his ego the way that Lindsey Graham did, then you're great. Now, do I think that there was more to the Lindsey Graham Trump thing than meets the eye? Oh, I certainly do. They both have secrets that they do not want people to know about. And that puts them in a very good position, because it's kind of like a nuclear weapon. It's mutually assured destruction. You rat me out, motherfucker, I rat you out. I know what you do on the weekends, Lindsey. I know that you like red lingerie that's really lacy. And I know you like getting tied up. And I know you like getting spanked by other men. So don't make me talk about that. Don't make me push you out into the bright lights. And of course, Trump, who knows? That's a funny thing. It's easy for us to say that, but the reality is that they're still doing it. The people who are willing to lie, cheat, and steal are actually winning right now. They are. That's a matter of fact. The worst human beings among us are winning. And there's a very good reason for that. Let's see, what was that? Birds of a feather, yep. Democrats, Republicans, yep. They're all the same until Judgment Day. Well, that's the other lie that's nice. Judgment Day. Oh, we're all going to wait until Judgment Day. That's what they tell the people they fleece. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You just, relax, lay down, try to enjoy this, as much as we are. Because, we're going to have to pay. Yeah, you may be getting fucked over now, but guess what? When Judgment Day comes, you're going to be the big winner and we're going to be the big losers. Sure. That's what it is. Well, now there's a hell of an idea. Yeah, and that's the problem with hope. Hope is not a strategy. Hope is just a warm, fuzzy feeling. Kind of like, oh, I don't know, if it's cold outside and you piss yourself. It just feels nice and warm for a little while, but really doesn't change anything. Oh, I remember Bill Cooper. I remember how everybody thought he was this big bullshit artist, fucking working for the CIA, blah, 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 right up until the sheriff's department showed up at his house to serve a warrant for some ridiculous thing and accidentally ended up shooting him to death with no witnesses. Well, I guess praying is just putting out your intentions out loud. I don't know. Couldn't hurt, I suppose. If your intentions are real, if you're just, praying because you think somebody's watching you in church, well, whatever. If Dems win, good luck. If Dems win the White House in 2.5 years, is Ruby the front runner? What's a Ruby? What's a Ruby? Amazing how easy it is for these radical progressive socialists to set the young on board. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But that's the thing. It's you've got two groups here. You've got the rich industrialists who are rugged individualists. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Don't be a pussy and ask for help, socialist pussy. But then when their companies get in trouble, they go running to Uncle Sam for tax money to bail them out. They're socialists, but they're only socialists when they need help. When you need help, peasant, screw you. See, these are the people who have lost their deep set fear. Their deep set fear of what, you may be asking. Probably can't say it on here without getting kicked off. But there is something that bad people universally fear, as they should. Anybody want to take a wild stab at what that is? Because I've been told most of my life by Democrats, by Christians, by a lot of people that it's not the answer. It is the answer. You vote all you want. They ignore your votes now. That's obvious. Tall trees. That's funny. That's fighting's part of it. Yeah. Starts with a V, for Christ's sakes. This is how bad this country's gotten. You guys can't hit this one on the head? Really? Because it works. It is absolutely the best solution to people who have no respect. Vision, no. It rhymes with violin, for fuck's sake. Wow. I got a bunch of fucking pacifists here. Mike, Jesus Christ, thank you. My God. All right, you guys finally got on board with me. Thank you. Hey, Valor's nice. Valor's good, but the other two are way better. Yes, Double D. And by the way, that's a little play on words there because I will double down on that answer. Yes, you are like a real class. Woo! I know, you almost hit it. You almost hit it. Yep, that's exactly right. So here's the point. We've been taught that being passive, being sweet, being kind, being nice, being loving, turn the other cheek. Well, Digital Drifter, I disagree. Because the people who are controlling the world right now, that's how they're doing it. And as long as the rest of us are passive, sweet, loving, kind, turn the other cheek, dust off your sandals, walk away. All right. But at some point, when I'm backed into a corner and I understand that my children's future is at stake, then I have to go back to what my father taught me. And what my father taught me was that there are violent people in the world. They are evil, bad, shitty people. And if you try to use kindness like these woke fucking idiots, what they see is an opportunity because they see weakness. They see fear. They don't understand kindness. It doesn't compute. So when you're kind to them and you say, oh, you know what, we can all get along, they go, oh, I get it. They're afraid of me. Okay. All right, I get it. And then at that point, what do? They push you a little farther. They push you a little farther and they push you a little farther. And you just keep saying, you know what, I just give them time. They're going to change. Once they understand how much I care, then it's going to happen. It's going to all, they're going to realize, no, they're not. No, they're not going to realize. They're never going to realize. It's in their DNA. It's in their documentation. It's in their religion. It's in their culture. It is absolutely to the bone bred into them. So, what do? And if you think you're right to protest can make a difference, no, I'm not saying protest. You think there will be another civil war? Absolutely. There will absolutely be another civil war, and there will never be anarchy. Anarchy is not even an option. Literally, don't waste another single breath on the concept. Can't possibly happen. Protesting is interesting in the sense that if 5 million people show up in Washington, the politicians get nervous, but it's beyond that now. I think it's past that now. Anarchy, it's where no one rules. We all share the responsibility for just doing the right thing, and there is no centralized power, which does work in small communities. And in small communities that are homogenous, high trust societies, it works extremely well. It's fantastic. because then you don't have this big overarching government trying to tell you what you can and can't do. Everybody just understands that this is what we do, this is what we don't do. If you get into a position where you're doing things that aren't allowed, first you'll be talked to, then there'll be sort of a communal tribunal, kind of a rap song there. And then eventually, if you don't stop, you'll just be ostracized from the community. You just got to go. And that's the way it's been for 10,000 years. Before, there were organized governments to make sure that they could help us control ourselves. No, actually, Biden didn't say that. I heard Obama say that. I actually heard him say that several times. It was played over and over again. And they made a joke. Now, maybe Biden said it too, but I don't remember him ever saying it. I do remember Obama actually saying that, though. And that I thought was very interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, what we're looking at right now is we've got a real problem on our hands, because we're being distracted, we're being separated, and simultaneously we're being attacked. We're being attacked by the people who tell us that they are our friends. They're not. We're being attacked from within by people that are being paid by them. If you think that Israel has any interest in helping the United States of America, they don't. They could care less about Christians. They don't like Christians, period. Now, some Jews are ambivalent. They could care less one way or the other. But there is a good enough amount of really fundamentalist Jews that fucking hate Christianity, hate it, don't see us as humans. And those are the ones that are putting the most effort into using our freedoms against us, using their right to free speech, using their ability to suck money from the government by not working. That is true. But here's the problem. While we're fighting about transgender fucking horses or whatever, they are very, very quickly taking over our country. And not in a sort of ambiguous, offhanded, esoteric way. No, they're literally taking over our government. Straight up. They are taking over our government. And there are simple things that we can do. Absolutely the most simple things you could possibly imagine. Things that are just so incredibly basic that it's an absolute fucking shock to my system that they're not done already. I'll give you a perfect example. Why on earth would we allow someone who has served, who has taken an oath before God to defend a country that's not ours, that has sworn their undying loyalty until death to someone else? Then they come here and they swear an oath of loyalty to us. Okay, but do they have to publicly at least say that they no longer have loyalty to this other place first? Do they have to disassociate themselves from this other place? No. No, they don't. No, they don't. There was a congressman that wore his IDF uniform to the Capitol. That is so stunningly offensive. That is so shockingly fucking offensive. When I said my oath to join the Marine Corps, when I went through hell in boot camp, I did it because I was willing to go and fight and die for my country. Not for God. I didn't give two shits about God. I was fighting for this country. Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. They kicked me off. For what? Misinformation. Okay. Fuck no, I don't agree with it. Yeah, let's view the details. What exactly are we talking about? Uh-huh. Okay. And why? Okay, in a global community, but misinformation. Okay. What was the name of the congressman who wore his IDF uniform to the Capitol? Brian Mast. Son of a bitch. You got to love this. Fucking jerks. Brian Mast wore his IDF uniform into the Capitol. Yep. Motherfucker. Unbelievable, man. I just like uh on uh on let's see, October 13th, 2023. According to, let's see, Google, Wikipedia, let's see, the Hill newspaper, the House dot Gov. The Independent. Wow. And the Times of Israel. What miss in God damn it. What miss in? Oh. Okay. Son of a bitches. Son of a bitches. I can't fucking believe they do this shit to me all the time. Yeah. Yep. Tic Tac sucks. I wish I didn't have 120,000 followers on it, but I do. All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll go back out to the garage and sweat my ass off some more because I'm organizing stuff. And it's, what is it? It's, oh shit, it's down to 80 degrees outside, 80 and raining. All right. I may not be sweating my ass off by the time I'm done. Who am I kidding? I'm going to be sweating my ass off. All right, guys. I will see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow night.